Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. I hope you're having a great day, and I got a crepe myrtle right here that I need to get fixed up. And the reason I need to fix it is because it doesn't look like I like for it to look. Okay, you can see some of the outer limbs are kind of drooping down, and I've got a couple of limbs up in here that have been broken by one of the two hurricanes that come, so I need to clean that up. Just overall need to shape it up a little bit, give it a nice cool shape. And you know, there's two different ways folks see doing crepe myrtles. One is taking care of it in a horticulturally correct way and providing the tree shape so it looks like an actual tree, because that's what it is. It's a Natchez crepe myrtle, and it's a tree. It's not a bush. They make crepe myrtle varieties in bushes, but this is not one of them. The other way is when folks come in there with a chainsaw or a bow saw or whatever and just go whoo and whack it off, and you've got a bunch of sticks sticking up in the air. It's the dangest, ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. It breaks my heart every time I ride by and see a beautiful crepe myrtle that has been absolutely butchered. So let's do this one the right way. So one of my things on my to-do list when I went to the GIE Expo this year was to search out some new pruning equipment. Well, I got lucky because I run across Easy Cut. Now for years, I've been using what's considered probably the most highest quality or the best hand pruners on the market. That's the Felco brand. And don't take me wrong, they're great pruners, they work great, but they're nowhere near as easy to use as this stuff. And just the guy showed me right there, Scott showed me right there on the table how this stuff operates and works. And man, I'm telling you, it's a night and day difference with the size of limbs you can cut with this stuff and how much easier it is to cut. So I'm gonna use this stuff when I'm pruning this tree, and we'll talk about this stuff a little bit later in the video, but let's talk about this tree now. All right, so kind of up inside the canopy here, these little stray volunteers, I kind of like to get those going. And remember, I've always showed you, right here's the collar, this little hump. Let's get a bigger example. So right here is the branch on this limb. Here's your trunk of the tree, and you see this little hump right here. You see it even better right here on this one. Well, that's called the collar, and inside that collar is everything this tree needs so that when you cut it, it can heal over properly. Now, what you don't want to do, you don't want to come back here and cut it flush with the tree. That'll actually do a lot more damage. And of course, you don't want to cut it way out here. You want to come right in here, maybe just a little bit beyond the collar, and that's where you'll make your cut. Here. Bingo. Anything that's dead, this little limb right here is just pretty much dead. It's bitten the dust. We're going to take that out too. Now, one thing about these pruners, they are a ratcheting style pruner, which makes it super easy to cut. And check this one out. This one right here is about, I'm gonna say it's about 3/4 of an inch big. I'm gonna get my pruners locked up in there real good, and look how easy this is. This size limb right here would actually give me a fit with my typical Felco pruners, because you're relying on nothing but the force of your hand, the strength of your hand to power through this, where with this ratcheting system, it makes it a lot easier. sorry that the sun may not be shining on it quite the right way, but you can see I've raised up this canopy pretty good here. Now, one thing you'll notice, this chunk is missing. That's from the hurricane. It broke off a big limb, and there's absolutely nothing we can do about that, but we'll let it repair itself over time. You can see how the canopy's nice and raised up now. Now, one cool thing about these two crepe myrtles is I planted these with my own hands about 13 years ago, maybe 14 years ago. And in those 13 or 14 years, we have not done absolutely nothing to them at all, except kind of keep them cleaned up. Now, it's that time of the year, late fall, early winter. I like to do this pruning and this cleanup on them while I still have leaves on the tree, because those leaves add weight to the limbs and kind of help the limbs to droop over, so I can see what to cut and what not to cut. Now, moving forward with this tree or these two crepe myrtles, we won't touch them. We won't do a dang thing to them again until late next summer, right when they have all the heavy blooms on them. These are notches. They'll have a big white bloom on it, and they'll be droopy and hanging down, and we'll come in and clean them up. Yeah, we'll cut a few of the blooms off, no big deal, but we'll raise that canopy back up and give it a nice even canopy right there. And this is the way I prefer my crepe myrtles. It's just plain and simple. I'm not a fan of taking the chainsaw in there and coming in here and just whacking that thing off, man. I think that's destructive, and you ruin the integrity of the tree. It's a serious eyesore. Man, who in the world wants a bunch of sticks sticking up out of the ground in their landscape? It just looks terrible. Look at those cuts. I know I'll get asked the question, well, do you put that stuff over top of here to kind of, help that heal up? Well, my answer is no, because I go back to the collar. The collar has everything in it. When God created these things, He put a mechanism inside this collar so that this cut will heal up naturally the way it should. So, hey, I'm gonna get out of this wind. I'm gonna go back to my house, and I'll show you a little bit more about this. So, hey, I forgot about these things. This is a Japanese steel wow saw. Now, I'm not going to go into detail with this. I'm just going to show you how to use it, and you let me know the first thing you say after you cut your first limb with this. So I think I got a little bit left on this collar. I can use this for an example, but I'm basically going to set it here. I'm going to give it just a pinch of pressure, not much, and I'm just going to give it a pull. Look at there. It's designed, it doesn't cut on the return stroke. It does all its cutting on the pull stroke. Pretty slick, right? What you remember when you're doing this is don't come in here and just look at a limb and whack it off back here at the trunk of the tree, because you may ruin the integrity out here in the canopy somewhere, okay? You want to start with your lower limbs first, your smallest lower limbs first, and do some clipping and kind of work your way from the bottom up. Always go back. If let's just say I wanted to cut this limb, always trace that limb back. Find other branches that may be attached to it. See where they're going. Because if I were to come back here and cut this one off, that would actually remove this one as well, and that's a major chunk of the canopy right here. So always start at your lowest point on the outside and work your way up and back. That way you don't make any bad cuts and ruin your tree. All right, so it ain't quite so cold in my garage here, but when I bought mine, and a quick note on that, I know a lot of folks seek out to get free stuff, and you know, you can put on a video and all that kind of stuff, but I don't do that. If I got something I'm offering you, it's because I've used it and I like it. I don't promote stuff just because somebody gives me something. I bought this myself, paid full price for it. I don't accept freebies because I feel like if I do that, I have to give it a good review or say something really positive about it, whether I like it or not. So I just assume not even go there. I'd rather pay for it than I can tell you what I want to say about it. Now, I think one of my favorite things about this is I've got this one package and I've got everything included. Back here on the back strap, if you come right here, here's a little sharpening tool. Flip it around to the front. Obviously, you got your, well, there's an extra pouch up here. I think my iPhone 8 might even fit in there. And of course, you got your loppers right there. And then these two pouches right here. The bottom one is designed for your folding saw. And then the top one is designed to put your pruners in, your hand pruners. So that's really, really neat. The pruners, you can flip this around, stick it in here, use it as like a holster where, you know, you don't have to fool with the flap opening up, you know, opening and closing all the time. It's got a belt, I don't know what you call these things, a clip, and it's actually got a slide through where you can actually slide your belt through if you want to have it on your hip all day long. All right, the cool thing with this is you come right here and you unhook it like so, and you take the strap and you run it through this little cutout right here. All right, then hook it back here and here, pull your strap back down and re-hook it down here at the bottom like so. And now you've pretty much got a holster for the loppers to slide in, like so. And you would throw that over your shoulder, over your back. Just simply reach behind your head, grab them, pull them out. So that's pretty neat. Really neat the way whoever designed this, Mr. Easy Cut, he done a real good job with this particular piece right here. All right, so let's check these out up close and personal. Got a good little knuckle guard right there so you don't tear your knuckles all to pieces. And watch this little clip right here. That's how you open it, by that clip. You can see here's the ratcheting mechanism. Now, if you're cutting little small stuff, yeah, you can cut it with the tips, that's fine. But anything with any amount of size, you want to always get that pruner lodged back in there at the very back here. Now watch this, watch how this thing ratchets. Look how clean that cut is. Pretty neat, right? Now what about a little bit bigger limb? Now I've got to take this limb off anyway, but you can see my pruners, it's a little bit bigger than my pruner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of lodge it in here like so, and I'm gonna take the pruner and spin it around like that. And look how it's cutting into it. Once I get around it one good time, then all I gotta do is squeeze. It's a done deal. All right, so let's talk about these loppers. They work in the same way. They have this same ratcheting type mechanism. And you can see it doesn't take much to get them to ratchet in. Just a little simple tug, and look at there. This is cool. course, they open and slide out, and they got different settings for whatever you want to use them on. You know, if you just want to bring them out to there, you could, or take them all the way in or all the way out. Let's open this up. We'll get this, that's about 1.25 inches or so. I think this thing will cut up to about almost a 3-inch limb. Look at how easy it goes through. That's minimal effort right there. All right, real cool right here. I've got them extended all the way out. And let's say I've got a limb up high that I need to go up here and cut. Well, I've got them opened all the way because it's a bigger limb. Now, look at my height. I've lost my height that I can reach when I widen it out. See how I'm down here when I need to be up there? Well, this is really cool. Let me show you up close how this works. This is a real unique little tab right here, and it latches into this bolt. So what you're going to do is you're going to close them, lock that in like so, open them up. Now I've got my full width right here, and I can reach up as high as I can reach with them. And that's been one of the problems with loppers ever since I've been buying them, is when you get up here and you go to open them up, I lose my height and I can't stand it. That's why in the videos you see me jumping all the time and trying to jump and snatch at it. Well, I don't have to do that no more because I've got this little tab right here that changed all that. All right, so there you go. This is one of my new buddies. I like this easy cut stuff. Matter of fact, I like it so much, I'm gonna go in there right now and I'm gonna order this setup, the hand pruners, the loppers, and the saw, and the sharpener. It kind of comes in a package deal, or you can get them individually, it doesn't matter. They sell it all kind of different ways, but I'm gonna go in there and buy 4 more of these setups for my cruise. And the cool thing is, I'm gonna get 20% off of it. 20% off of it, because I got a coupon code for this. I've been working with Scott real hard on this and got a 20% coupon code for you. I know you're used to hearing 10%, but I want to do something a little bit better, so we made it 20. So that's for anything they got in the store, the package deal, individually or whatever. I'm gonna go and order me 4 setups like this for my cruise, and I'm gonna get 20% off myself, okay? So hey, check you later, and you might wanna get your pruners right.